Have you ever felt like your words just slip out, your emotions run wild, your spending gets out of hand, or your mind is a constant battlefield of worries? Imagine waking up tomorrow with a profound sense of calm, knowing that you are the undisputed master of your inner world, regardless of what life throws at you. What if the key to this kind of ultimate freedom was discovered by a man who was literally a slave, and that same wisdom is available to you right now? If these questions resonate, then you're in the right place. Welcome to StoicCraft, a vital resource for men like us, navigating the complexities of modern life with wisdom, resilience, and a deep commitment to self-mastery. Here we delve into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, offering practical, battle-tested principles to help you forge unshakable inner strength. My friend, imagine waking up each morning with an almost serene calm, knowing you possess complete and absolute dominion over every single word that escapes your lips, every emotion that surges within your chest, every dollar that flows from your wallet, and every single thought that gracefully or chaotically crosses the landscape of your mind. For most of us, especially those of us deep in the prime of our lives, juggling careers, families, and endless responsibilities, this probably sounds like an utterly impossible dream, a utopian fantasy. Yet, over 2 millennia ago, there was a man who not only believed this kind of profound mastery was achievable, but he passionately taught that it was the only true path to living a genuinely free and flourishing life. His name was Epictetus, and the most astonishing part of his story is this: he was born into literal slavery. Just let that sink in for a moment. He had absolutely no control over his physical body, no freedom of movement, and literally no say in his daily circumstances. He was owned by another human being. Yet, despite these utterly dehumanizing external conditions, Epictetus, against all odds, discovered a powerful, transformative truth. This truth was so potent, so utterly revolutionary, that it profoundly transformed him from a physically enslaved man into one of the most profoundly influential teachers of genuine mental and emotional freedom the world has ever known. Epictetus taught a fundamental, almost shocking principle: no one can hurt you without your permission. Now, at first glance, this might strike you as harsh, perhaps even insensitive, especially if you or someone you deeply care about is currently navigating through profound pain or suffering. But what he truly meant, what he passionately emphasized, was this: while we undeniably cannot always control the unpredictable and often painful external events that inevitably happen to us, we possess complete, unassailable, and unwavering control over how we choose to respond to those events. And within that conscious choice of response, my friends, lies our ultimate, unshakable power. Let's be brutally honest with ourselves. Most of us today aren't physically enslaved by another person. We live in relative freedom with immense opportunities our ancestors could only dream of. Yet, ironically, many of us are still, perhaps unconsciously, profoundly trapped. We are held captive by our own uncontrolled words, by our volatile emotions, by our often reckless spending habits, and by our minds, which so frequently spiral into torrents of fear, doubt, and paralyzing worry. We find ourselves constantly uttering words we deeply regret, allowing our moods to ruin not just a moment, but entire precious days. spending money we frankly don't have on things we demonstrably don't need, and letting our internal dialogue become a chaotic symphony of anxiety. But what if I told you that the very same timeless wisdom, the same profound principles that liberated a Roman slave from his internal shackles, could also liberate you from your own self-imposed prisons? What if the very things you feel most desperately out of control in your life, your impulsive mouth, your volatile mood, your seemingly elusive money, and your racing mind, are precisely the four critical domains where, with the right ancient Stoic tools and a resolute, unwavering commitment, you can achieve profound mastery? That is exactly what we are going to explore together today on StoicCraft. We're going to dive deep into these four pillars of mental mastery, revealing how you can not only reclaim control, but become the undisputed architect of your own inner peace and true freedom. This isn't about becoming a robot devoid of emotion. It's about becoming a deeply intentional, profoundly powerful human being. Point 1. Mastering your mouth. The discipline of speech. Let's start with something incredibly immediate and profoundly impactful: your mouth. The words we utter, whether spoken in anger, haste, or thoughtlessness, carry an immense power, a power not just to influence others, but to shape our own internal landscape. We've all been there. A heated argument where a regrettable phrase slips out, a casual comment that wounds someone deeply, or a moment of frustration where we vent relentlessly, only to feel a profound sense of regret afterward. This isn't just about avoiding saying the wrong thing. It's about understanding that every word you choose, or choose not to choose, is a direct reflection of your inner discipline, your judgment, and your overall character. The Stoics, those masters of self-control, were acutely aware of the destructive potential of uncontrolled speech. They understood that the tongue, though small, can wreak immense havoc, much like a tiny rudder can steer a massive ship. They taught that true wisdom isn't just about what you know, but about what you say, and more importantly, when you don't say anything at all. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, often reflected on the importance of guarding his mind and, by extension, his speech. He understood that loose words often come from loose thoughts. An intelligent man, especially one in his prime when his words carry significant weight in his career and family, recognizes that his speech is a direct extension of his inner state. He cultivates the habit of pausing before he speaks, allowing for a crucial moment of reflection. He asks himself, is this true? Is this kind? Is this necessary? Is this helpful? This isn't about becoming silent or withdrawn. It's about becoming incredibly deliberate and impactful with his communication. He avoids gossip, understanding that it poisons the well of trust and reflects poorly on his own character. He refrains from impulsive reactions or speaking out of anger, knowing that such words rarely serve any constructive purpose and often inflict irreparable damage. He recognizes the value of silence, understanding that often the most powerful response is no response at all, allowing space for thoughts to settle and for true understanding to emerge. Think about how many times you've heard someone speak just for the sake of speaking, filling the air with noise rather than substance. Or perhaps you've been on the receiving end of someone's unbridled frustrations. Mastering your mouth means cultivating a profound respect for the power of your words ensuring they are always aligned with your highest values of truth, kindness, and wisdom. This discipline doesn't just make you a more respected communicator. It brings a profound calm to your internal world, knowing that you are speaking with intention and integrity. Practical application. Before responding in any situation, especially an emotionally charged one, try the "Is it TOK filter. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If it doesn't pass at least a few of these, consider silence or a more thoughtful REPHRASING.2. Mastering your mood, the discipline of desire and emotion next. Let's turn our attention to the tumultuous landscape of our moods and emotions. For many of us, our internal emotional state can feel like a rudderless ship, tossed about by every external gust of wind. A rude driver, a frustrating email, a critical comment from a spouse, any of these can instantly derail our entire day, plunging us into anger, anxiety, or resentment. We often feel like victims of our own emotional responses, buffeted by forces we don't understand and certainly don't control. But the Stoics offer a profoundly different path, the path of emotional mastery. The Stoics did not advocate for the suppression of emotions or for becoming a cold, unfeeling robot. That's a common misconception. Instead, they taught that emotions themselves are natural, but our assent to them, our judgment and interpretation of them, is where our power lies. They aimed for apatheia, not apathy, but a state of being free from irrational and disturbing passions, a tranquility born from reason. Epictetus, in particular, emphasized that it's not external events that upset us, but our opinions about those events. An intelligent man, especially one juggling the various demands of work and family, learns to observe his moods without immediately becoming enslaved by them. When a wave of anger, envy, or frustration arises, he doesn't immediately react. Instead, he pauses. He creates a vital space between the emotional trigger and his response. In that space, he applies reason. He asks himself, what is this emotion telling me? Is it based on a rational judgment? Is acting on this emotion truly helpful, or will it lead to further suffering? He understands that allowing fleeting impulses and transient emotions to dictate his actions is a recipe for regret and a life lived out of alignment with his values. He practices the discipline of desire, which involves focusing his desires only on what is within his control, his character, his efforts, his virtues, and becoming indifferent to external outcomes. This doesn't mean he doesn't feel the sting of disappointment or the warmth of joy, but he doesn't allow these feelings to hijack his reason or undermine his inner peace. Mastering your mood is about recognizing that you are not your emotions. You are the awareness that observes them. It's about consciously choosing your response rather than blindly reacting. This practice cultivates an unshakable inner calm, allowing you to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with grace and resilience. It means that when chaos swirls around you, your internal compass remains steady, guided by your reason and your deepest values, not by the unpredictable whims of your fleeting feelings. When you feel an intense emotion bubbling up, try the pause, observe, question, choose method. Pause before reacting. Observe the emotion without judgment. Question its source and rationality. Then choose your response based on your values, not just your feeling. Point 3. Mastering your money, the discipline of resources. Now, let's talk about something that creates immense stress for countless individuals, particularly those in the heart of their careers and family building: money. For many, money feels like an elusive, uncontrollable force, a source of constant worry, endless chasing, and often profound dissatisfaction. We spend compulsively, save reluctantly, and often measure our worth by our net worth, falling prey to the endless cycle of more, more, more. The Stoics, while not advocating for poverty, certainly preached a profound indifference to material wealth as a source of happiness. They recognized that while money can provide comfort and opportunities, it is ultimately an external indifferent. Seneca, a wealthy Roman statesman and a key Stoic philosopher, constantly reminded himself and his readers of the dangers of avarice and the emptiness of relying on external possessions for inner peace. He understood that true richness comes from inner contentment and independence, not from accumulated assets. He frequently wrote about choosing voluntary poverty or discomfort to strengthen his mind and detach from the lures of luxury. An intelligent man, especially one responsible for a family's financial well-being, understands that mastering his money isn't just about spreadsheets and investments. It's about mastering his desires and his relationship with material things. He cultivates a deep appreciation for the value of frugality, understanding that true freedom often comes from needing less, not acquiring more. He avoids frivolous spending driven by social comparison, impulsive desires, or a mistaken belief that external purchases will fill internal voids. He practices financial discipline, recognizing that every dollar spent is a choice to move closer to his long-term goals or further away from them. He budgets not out of deprivation, but out of a clear understanding of his priorities. He invests wisely, focusing on long-term security and impact rather than chasing fleeting trends or gambling on quick riches. He understands that money is a tool, a means to an end, not an end in itself. Mastering your money means cultivating a sense of sufficiency, knowing that you have enough for your needs and then some, without constantly craving more. It means prioritizing experiences and relationships over possessions, and recognizing that true wealth lies in your character, your wisdom, and your peace of mind, not in the size of your bank account. This discipline liberates you from the endless treadmill of consumerism and the anxiety of financial insecurity, allowing you to live with greater freedom and purpose. Embrace a needs versus wants mindset. Before any non-essential purchase, pause and ask, do I truly need this, or is this a fleeting want driven by external influences or internal urges? Regularly review your spending against your core values. 4. Mastering your mind, the discipline of thought. Finally, we arrive at the ultimate frontier of self-mastery, your mind itself. If your mouth, mood, and money are like the instruments of your life, then your mind is the orchestra conductor. It is the seat of your judgments, your interpretations, your beliefs, and your internal dialogue. And for most of us, it is a chaotic, noisy, and often critical place, filled with incessant worries, self-doubt, past regrets, and future anxieties. This uncontrolled mental chatter is fundamentally the root cause of most of our suffering. The Stoics considered the mind the only true domain of freedom and the most important battleground. They believed that our unique human capacity for reason, logos, was a divine spark, and that our primary duty was to cultivate and use this reason to achieve inner tranquility. Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations repeatedly reminded himself that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He wasn't talking about thought suppression. He was talking about thought management, the conscious filtering and shaping of our internal world. An intelligent man understands that his thoughts are not him. They are simply mental events that arise. He learns to observe his thoughts without judgment, without immediately identifying with them or believing them as absolute truth. When a worrying thought arises, he doesn't panic. He examines it. Is this thought rational? Is it helpful? Is it within my control? What evidence do I have for this thought? He deliberately chooses to withhold his assent from unhelpful or irrational thoughts, effectively dismissing them before they can take root and generate negative emotions. He cultivates a positive and constructive internal dialogue, replacing self-criticism with self-compassion and anxiety with reasoned problem-solving. He understands that his attention is his most precious resource, and he directs it only towards what serves his growth, his purpose, and his peace. He practices mindfulness, staying anchored in the present moment, rather than allowing his mind to constantly drift into past regrets or future anxieties. Mastering your mind is the ultimate liberation. It means that even when the external world is chaotic and unpredictable, your inner world remains a sanctuary of calm and reason. It means you are no longer a victim of your own automatic thoughts, but the conscious director of your mental landscape. This profound self-awareness and control is the ultimate source of strength, resilience, and lasting inner peace. It allows you to consciously choose what you entertain in your mind, ensuring that your inner dialogue is always empowering and aligned with your highest self. Practice daily mindfulness or meditation, even for just 5 to 10 minutes. During the day, whenever you catch yourself in a negative thought spiral, consciously acknowledge the thought, "I'm having the thought that X," and then gently redirect your attention to something constructive or the present moment. My friend, you now have the blueprint. You have seen how mastering your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind, these 4 fundamental pillars, can genuinely transform your entire experience of life. This isn't theoretical philosophy. This is intensely practical wisdom, forged in the crucible of human experience and tested over millennia. The path to mastery is not a destination. It is a continuous journey, a daily commitment, and a lifelong practice. The transformation begins not when life magically becomes perfectly smooth, but with a single resolute decision, the decision to take unwavering responsibility for your inner world. Not because life is always fair, it certainly isn't, and not because this journey will always be easy, it most assuredly won't be, but because you, as an intelligent and capable man, profoundly deserve to live as the undisputed master of your own experience, rather than perpetually feeling like a helpless victim of circumstance. Consider this. A few months from now, you will either find yourself in the exact same spot, wrestling with the same old struggles, feeling the same familiar frustrations, or you will be a profoundly different man, You will be someone who has diligently learned to navigate life's inevitable complexities with grace, with unwavering intention, and with an unshakable inner strength that comes directly from mastering these four fundamental domains. The choice, my friend, is entirely and absolutely yours to make, and the most opportune time to make that transformative choice is not tomorrow, not next week, but unequivocally right now, in this very moment. Remember the timeless words of Epictetus, the slave who found ultimate freedom. No one can hurt you without your permission. Today, I urge you to consciously withdraw that permission. Today, you take the momentous first step on the journey from mere reaction to deliberate response, from pervasive chaos to profound control, and from the subtle slavery of external circumstances to the boundless freedom of self-mastery. The four pillars of true mastery are patiently waiting for you to embrace them. Your future, more empowered self is counting on your courage and your commitment today. And somewhere in the eternal realm of ideas, the ancient Stoics are most certainly cheering you on, witnessing your courageous first steps towards genuine freedom. Take that first step. Begin today. Begin now. If this powerful message has resonated deeply with something within you, if it has sparked a quiet fire in your soul, please consider giving this video a heartfelt like. Share it generously with a friend, a family member, or a colleague who you know truly needs to hear this empowering truth. Drop your unwavering commitment to mastery in the comments section below, letting us know which pillar you'll focus on first. And most importantly, subscribe to StoicCraft for more profound, life-changing wisdom designed to help you become the master of your own destiny. Your personal journey to ultimate mastery truly begins right now. Today, I choose mastery over mediocrity, intention over reaction, and freedom over slavery to circumstances.